You guys, look what I did.
You made that.
This is all me. Voila. Don't believe what they say, folks. Crimping ain't easy. What's good, everyone? I'm Anna Sterling, and I am here with Melissa Elsen of 4 and 20 Blackbirds here in Brooklyn, New York. We are going to learn how to make some beautiful pies.
4 and 20 makes all their dough from scratch, but there's no shame in using store-bought dough.
Let's get started. Okay, so right now we're gonna learn how to do the braid strip style over the pie.
So we have a really nicely rolled out circle. So the first thing we're gonna do to get started is we're gonna basically kind of square it off a little bit. So we're just gonna trim off these areas where it'll be too short because we're gonna cut it into multiple strips. And then we're gonna divide this into 5 sections, which is a little bit tricky because you can't just cut it right down the middle. So what I do is I just kind of be like 1, 2, 3, 4, close enough.
All right, so we're making some nail marks.
Yeah, I
that's
made
where
some
these
nail
claws
marks.
come in handy.
Exactly. Now each one of these sections needs to be cut into 3 even-sized pieces.
All right, and we're still eyeballing the whole situation.
I'm just eyeballing it, and then while you're running your pastry wheel down the dough, just kind of hold it in place with your hand. You know, it gives it a little bit extra charm if they're all a little bit different sized.
It's like braiding your hair.
Exactly.
You just grab and go.
Okay, so this is the hardest part, and getting them started is really the hard part. Take and pull to the middle, right? And then take your second one, and then put it in the middle.
And then just keep going. So, and you want it
Get a
about like
couple.
an inch below.
It's wherever you can get it, but it's a little bit easier to start down a little bit, and then you can kind of go back at the top and work them back together. You just have to do it kind of backwards. And then just keep going. I made mine a little bit tighter, and so I'm kind of lifting it and bending them over and then kind of flattening them down.
Yeah, yours are nice and lifted. Mine are kind of flat.
Yours are more flat, which is fine, but that looks really beautiful too. So there you go. There's one. You're gonna do that with all the other 4 sections here, and then kind of pinch them together at the bottom, a little bit, just to kind of hold them. And then I would put these onto a sheet tray and freeze them solid before you're gonna work with them.
How long would you freeze them for?
Just until they're very firm.
So what's the next step?
Okay, so we've got all our braids here. We just pulled them out of the freezer, and we have a filled pie. Just lay them. This is the easier part. So then you want to put your shorter ones towards the edge. So I'm going to put this longer one here. Trim these kind of thick, rough edges with a kitchen shear. And so we're just going to roll and pinch, and you just want to kind of grab the braid and kind of keep it in place. So the hard part is when you get to the other side, not to get them to bunch up. If you're too gentle with this step, if you're not firm in your pinches, it will unravel when it hits the heat of the oven, and it'll just melt down the side, and then your filling will flow over and it'll ruin your beautiful pie that you worked so hard to make. And then just when you do this, make sure you're pulling these taut into it as well, so they don't, so they don't bunch up.
Even more than that.
A little more than that, like that. And then the beautiful part about doing one like this is then you can kind of go around at the end and you can kind of just like pinch it all together again. I use my thumb, my index, and either my other thumb, or sometimes I use one of these 2 fingers. You just place your finger in the spot where your index finger was previously.
Not too bad. So you want to put your thumb at the edge
Of the previous
crimp.
Yep. Okay, that's beautiful. All right, well there we go. We're all finished with that. And now we can put it in the oven.
Lovely. So this might be the most difficult of the styles we're doing.
Yeah, this lattice weaving that we're about to do, people find a little bit challenging, but it's actually really simple if you just know the steps and just keep going one at a time.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, so we've got our filled pie here. This is a nice apple pie. And so we're gonna take the longest piece of lattice from the center, and we're gonna lay it down.
And this has been chilled again.
The colder the better when you're doing this step. We're gonna take another long one, and we're gonna lay it across the center. Lay one on either side. So now we've got the base of what we're doing here. Take the one that's underneath,
Okay.
fold it back against itself, and lay another one down. And then fold it back.
This one.
And as you build, you just have to keep folding back more and more and more.
Interesting. Okay. Bop.
Yep, and that's perfect. You know, you want to leave a little bit of nice little squares in between. You don't want it too close together, because then you might not have enough to go all the way to the edge of your pie.
This is very beautiful.
Yep, and it was pretty easy, right?
Yeah, actually
Easier than it
Yes,
looks. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
For a novice like me, I'm surprised at how easy that was.
go in and trim off all these kind of longer edges. And we're gonna crimp this one exactly the way we did.
All right, so we're gonna pinch and then crimp.
That's right, so you roll it towards you.
I would say the pinching is harder than the crimping.
I think the reason that the crimping is, you know, so stressful is because that's the final look of it.
Right.
But this is really important to get it right, to make sure that
It doesn't
everything
all
that
fall
comes
apart.
after it, yeah, exactly, works properly. And crimp it.
Guys, crimping is easy. I'm really proud.
There we go.
Wow. All right, so there you have it. We completed the pies. They are beautiful and ready to eat.
Cheers.